Hey guys, I'm Janelle, known as Nail Gun Nelly on all my socials, and I am here to show you how we transformed this bathroom into this beautiful, luxurious black tile shower. Okay, so the tile we're doing for the shower floor is this pebble rock, and it's actually smooth. I've used ones that have, they seem actually like real rocks, and I love them, but Chad didn't like that. So what I'm gonna do is lay out my entire shower pan before even getting the mortar, because that way I will know how the fit needs to be. So I'm probably gonna play around with this a little bit. And you can see there's gaps here. So what you do is you first use, they're interlocking. I don't know how they're interlocking. I need to figure that out. But I want to get the pattern down first, and then I will be able to take rocks off of another sheet and fill in these gaps. So let's lay it out. Definitely not there. This is actually really smooth. So I know I'm going to like draw the line. That'll be where the cut is. And then these will be good mounts of rocks that I can pull to put into these spots. So I'm just going to keep working my way down. And that way it's way less stressful when you get the mortar and you're trying to like be quick. Here's a perfect example. So this was a rock that came off. So I can see if there's an area that it fits. This one almost fits, but not really. So yeah, this one's not going to work, but you get the drift. Oh, it's gonna look good. The main thing is like when you stand back, if you can tell where the squares are, where one starts and one ends, fix it, because that's not gonna go away, even with grout. Like you'll just be able to notice. So now that I have it laid out, if you look over up top, you can kind of visualize somewhat the grid of some of the squares. Over on the right-hand side where the drain is covered, it's a little better over there because I started pulling rocks off the mesh backing and filling in spots. So now in areas where it's kind of like really showing the grid, I'm going to pull off some of the stones and change them so that it looks less gritty and more like a solid one piece of stone, if that makes sense. So basically, I'm just going to cut the mesh rocks. Well, I'm basically going to cut the mesh so that the rocks that are off of the shower pan will be able to come off. And I'm just using a razor blade, but you want to make sure you pick it up off of your shower pan because I used the Schluter, which is made of like a really dense styrofoam. And so I would just cut right through it if I didn't lift it up. And we don't want that. End up having to cut some of these tiles, but I'm trying to prevent having to cut a lot. Oh gosh. Okay, I got my nostalgia 90s in the background. No ear pods. Everything is labeled, taped together. I have the tape because the edges have like loose ones and I just don't want to have to like think it out again. So this is like this last row right here. We got all this. Let's do it. So I have my ready set pre-mixed mortar. I'm basically gonna do one row at a time, spread my mortar, then trowel it and lay those. And then once I put them on, I'm just basically gonna use this to kind of like evenly set them. And then I will move on to each row and it should be quick to flop on some. Okay, so I got a coat. And so now I am going to basically just take my notched end and kind of like at a 45-degree angle, you basically are just gonna notch it. Like that. You want your notch marks to all go the same way to, I believe it's like for airflow. And now I'm gonna take my first tile. I'm gonna keep the tape on until I get it kind of set in place. Gets in place. And then just basically doing that. One down. So I basically just kind of trying to prevent that. Lay it on top and slide it over to fit in place. And then take my tape off, making sure all these little guys stay in place. And we have our first row in. I am now setting the drain, and when you use a Schluter shower pan, you need the Schluter drain, so it's very simple. Let me take this apart. I just set it in and then got my rocks that I know that are going to need to fill in so that when I lay the mortar, I can do it all at the same time. This black piece right here, it comes off, when it comes in the package, it is not attached. You can see this side of it is nice and smooth. There's a couple little marks, kind of like this, on the opposite side. That is the side you put your drain in. So obviously once it's in, it's pretty snug. So there's my drain, there's my drain. And then it also comes with the little riser. So this is going to, you can see one side of it is smooth, and then the opposite side is the one that has like these little raised edges. And so you're going to want to install it this way. So you take your drain with this part installed and you put it into the bottom flange part. And so you can see it can kind of move down and up. depending on how thick of a tile you're using and how much you need how much space you need. So the good thing to do is start with it low. I'm going to put mortar all in this area, and then I'm going to take my drain and I'm going to put it in there. You can see you're going to have a little wiggle room, but you want to lay this first. You're going to see all the extra mortar come out. And then before pushing this down to be level, which I already did because I dry fitted all this, I'm going to put mortar all in here, and then I'm going to push it down and lay my last tiles so that I ensure that these tiles are going to be not like this, because you need the water to drain in. You want them to be level so that the water is going to go into the drain. And so that's what we're going to do. So let's do it. I'm now going to take my drain. Then I'm going to actually back butter all of these little guys. Before putting them down, but I am going to push this down. And I want to make sure that it's flowing on to the top of my drain. Okay. It is grout day. I'm going to be using Maypie Ultra Color Plus, and this is actually a fast setting grout, but it's rapid setting, but it's all in one. You can use it for sanded and unsanded grouts. I went with a gray. I think the color is cobblestone, but it's kind of like a light gray, similar to my mortar. But when you get these, you want to make sure you shake them up, because you want them to be mixed well. And then it says to do, I'm not going to mix the whole bag at once, but you have I think only a 15-minute work time. And then it's good to go, and you can walk on it within 3 hours after. So I'm going to just do small batches, 1 part water, 3 parts of the grout. So you need your grout, you need your bucket. I have a bucket of water with a sponge so that it's ready to go, and you want to float, and then your drill with a mixer attachment. I'm using this cup because it's disposable, so I put 2 of these in here, and it's cold water. And so I'm going to put 6 of these in here, mix it for 4 to 5 minutes, and then let it sit, get ready, and we will spread it on. Say that you could, if you're not doing a full entire bag, you could possibly need to add a little more grout or a little more water depending on the consistency you want. But we'll just see how this goes and go from there. Okay, so I have my grout. It's good consistency. I'm just gonna start in this corner. Actually, some a little watery. Now that the shower pan is complete, be sure to tune in tomorrow when I drop the next video in this series where I show you the process of tiling the shower walls in these beautiful black tiles. Like always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you then.